So a preparation lap is a lap to prepare tires. Why is it different to normal running? Because normal running, you just do an out lap and then you push for a lap. That's the normal running sequence in qualifying. A preparation lap is an additional lap in which the driver can put the tires in a better shape. So the main implication that it has is that timing becomes much more complicated. Rather than just having 2 runs of one time lap, suddenly you have teams doing a preparation lap, some teams not doing preparation lap. So traffic becomes a bit of a headache. And this was the case at Portimão this weekend. You could see the best example that comes to mind was in Q3, where most people were doing preparation lap while Verstappen was not, and he got caught out in traffic. Okay, so starting on soft versus starting on medium. This is our bread and butter. This happens nearly every race. And of course, depending on the tire model of that race, it is an easier or more difficult decision to make. In general, soft is the tire that will give you better start performance. The second point to consider is how long do the tires last. So usually a soft tire is a tire that is more frail than a medium tire, so it will last less laps. So we have to balance the start performance on one side, on the soft being better, versus how long do we want to go on the second stint. Of course, a soft will allow you to do less laps in general than the medium. In general, going longer allows you to then stop whenever you want, not dictated by what the tire tells you to do. In general, the medium is a better tire to know when to stop rather than, but it has the disadvantage of the start. So in Portimão, tire behavior was quite strange or quite unusual. Coming into the event and coming into the race, we thought the soft tire would be a tough tire to race. The medium tire we thought was a very strong tire. What did we see during the race in Portimão yesterday? So we saw a medium tire that not for everybody, but for some drivers, and one of our drivers in particular, it grained quite a lot. What does graining mean? Graining means that the tire starts losing performance through to accelerated wear. So graining actually results in much more wear than you expected. So what happened to Carlos yesterday is that when we pitted him onto a medium on lap 20, we thought that tire could make it to the end. But for us, that tire grained and it suffered much more wear than anticipated, and that's why Carlos struggled so much on the second. We started the race on 2 different tires, soft and medium, soft with Carlos and medium with Charles. And we had the drivers in P5 and P8 at the start of the race, but after the safety car, everything reshuffled. And we suddenly found ourselves behind Norris with 2 cars. And we wanted to make the race as tough as possible to the McLaren. The best way we could do that is to try and string him from both sides, to try and pull him from both sides. So the lead car, which is Carlos, we stopped as early as we thought it would be good to go to the end. So in lap 20, we thought it was good for that medium tire. And even though the undercut was not successful, it was close but not successful, it did force Norris to come in the next lap. So Norris had to pit at lap 21. There was no choice. We made that choice for him. Even though the undercut was not successful, that gave us the opportunity that with Charles pitting later, if Norris suffered the same fate as Sainz, we would capitalize on him. So had Norris suffered with the medium at the end of the race, Charles would have been there on a hard tire, stopping later. So that was our 2-pronged approach to try and beat Norris. We know with hindsight that with Carlos we suffered quite a lot from the medium, but we would have still wanted to stop him early to put pressure on Norris. With hindsight, we would have stopped Carlos on lap 20, but onto a hard tire. Now, we would have given up the chance of undercutting Norris, but you still want to stop early to force Norris to stop early also, just to not allow him to do what's best for him. So we would have stopped Carlos early on lap 20 onto hard and kept on Charles longer as we did onto the hard later on, and that way try to put the McLaren in a tight spot.